you. Because yeah, just thinking of like wet weather contingencies, because it may or may not rain on Friday. Welcome back to the vlog. This week we had a shoot at a construction material recycling facility where they recycle all of the demolition material from construction sites like apartment buildings and houses and things like that. At the start of the week, I did a location recce at the facility to find out where all of the key areas were that we needed to capture for the final video. Given that there were a lot of trucks and heavy machinery on site, I needed to map out a plan of where we were going to be so that we could communicate that to our site contacts, so that on the day of the shoot, they had a clear idea of the places that we wanted to go, and they were able to communicate with all of the heavy machinery operators on site. This also allowed me to scout some potential locations for our exterior interviews, as the client really wanted to have the facility as the backdrop for at least 2 of the interviews that we were filming. I just got back from a location recce where we're going to be filming on like a recycling plant where there's a lot of dust and a lot of mud because it's been raining and things like that in Melbourne. And since the shoot's on Friday and there's a potential of rain forecast for Friday, I wanted to get a bit of wet weather gear sorted for the camera so that our FX6 wouldn't get absolutely destroyed on Friday during our shoot. I've got the FS5 here to do a quick test with these bags that I found from Bunnings, and they're just basically Glad heavy duty rubbish bags that are clear, and they're the extra large kind, because I went to John Barry's to pick up the Capit bags that basically are a big shower cap for your camera, but I found out today that they don't have a showroom anymore and they only do online orders. So I wanted to find another solution last minute because I don't think they would arrive in time if I were to order them now. So yeah, I've got these bags and I've got one unpacked, and I think this is going to be perfect for the use case because it's pretty clear through and through, and it will basically just go on top of the camera like that, which works out pretty well. And then I'll probably cut a hole in the front where the lens cap is and just give it a little bit more so that I can use this strap that I bought by Grunt, a Versa strap, to wrap around the lens to make sure that the bag is securely around the lens so that no water ingress can get in or dust or anything like that whilst we're recording. The fact that it's also an open bag means that I can have it on a tripod like this and still be able to operate by putting my hands underneath and things like that. And I think there should be enough visibility to be able to see what my monitor is outputting as well. But I think, I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but I think it's still going to be better than ruining some equipment. I ended up building the FX6 with the Holyland Pyro 7 monitor and the Sony 24-7 G Master to test out this garbage bag solution for rain protection, and it's worked out pretty good. I mean, it doesn't seem as clear as it looks on camera, but for all intents and purposes, it works pretty good. You can see the monitors and things still. Just it's getting hit by the light above head, so it's just kind of reflecting like crazy and causing a lot of glare. What I ended up doing instead of using the Versa strap to lock the bag to the front of the lens was I just basically cut a hole for the bag for the lens to stick through, and then I'm using the lens hood to keep it from slipping forward and off the lens. And since I've cut it pretty tight profile to the lens, it's probably going to be okay for the most part in terms of keeping any rain out from the camera package. The rest of the bag hasn't had any other modifications to it. The cool thing is that It's got touch control, so I don't know if you can see this, but yeah, I can touch on the screen. So I'll touch over on my camera there, and then back to my 3D printer. And that is basically allowing me to do touch autofocus. So I've got full control over that, which is really nice. And it's the same for my screen on the Pyro 7. So I've got full touch control, which is really nice. So we can go false color and things like that. So I think this is going to be a great solution for Friday's shoot so that I don't get the camera wet. I was a little bit concerned that I wouldn't have touch control due to the thickness of the material, but since this garbage bag is quite thin in terms of the plastic, it means that the capacitive touch still works, which is really great. And I can see all of the controls on the side of the camera and things like that also, which is really, really nice. We got blessed with some pretty decent weather on the day of the shoot. The only unfortunate thing was that it was super, super windy, as you can probably tell by the reflector in the shot. The rain managed to hold out for the duration of the shoot, which was really nice, so we were able to get a lot of exterior coverage, with only one interview being filmed indoors. The site office that we ended up filming in was a converted shipping container, so it was quite narrow, which didn't allow me to use all of the lighting and gripping that I would have liked. So we kept the lighting pretty simple for this particular interview. When lighting in small spaces, sometimes less is more.
It's important that we build our social license to operate. Now, everyone has a higher expectation.
Yep. Thankfully, we were able to get the drone up before things got too windy to get some drone shots, which I was really happy with considering that it was my second or third drone flight. The solution that I came up with for the weatherproofing of the camera whilst we were walking around on site didn't work out as I had expected, as it was so windy that the garbage bag became a sail. It was probably the hardest shoot that I've been on in a while, just due to the environmental elements of it being so windy and there being a lot of water from the sprinkler system that was part of the dust management, as well as dust created by the newly recycled concrete and bricks and things like that. That's all for this vlog. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.